we're looking at the real science that helps us to understand why our child's brain goes blank and, more importantly, how we can help them. Tool number 3. It's within the first 24 hours after a difficult scenario that your child's inner critic is the loudest. You may start to hear things like, well, I'm stupid, or I'll never be able to do this, or what's the point of even trying? And it's incredibly important for us as educators, as parents, as carers, to interrupt that feedback loop. This is rooted in something called attribution theory. This is something, again, from Dweck. And it's about how we explain our experiences to ourselves, right? Whether we are victims or if we are heroes. And how we see ourselves, whether we are a victim or we are a hero, is going to determine how we show up next time. Whether we are going to lay defeated or we're going to try again the next time. So there are 3 questions that are important in order to support the attribution theory. And they need to be done within the first 24 hours. The first is, what actually happened in your body? Now, this one I personally really struggle with. I have such a difficult time in being able to identify what happens in my body, especially when it is in a heightened state. Like, just being completely transparent and vulnerable here. It's so hard for me to do, being able to identify things that happen in my body. But the more that I practice and the more language that I'm provided and I practice using, the easier it gets. And then when I understand what happens in my body, I can start naming things. And once something is named, it holds less power. So if I can identify that my body was flooded with adrenaline and the back of my legs started to really feel shaky, then I know that I'm in my flight response. And when I know that I'm in my flight response, I no longer feel like I'm being pulled along to something that I have no control over. Instead, I can go, oh, okay, I'm in my flight response, which means I'm anxious, I'm outside my zone of tolerance, and if I name it, then it has less control. Question number 2, what did you know, even if it didn't come out? What did you actually feel super confident about going into the exam, going into the recital, into the game, that it just didn't come out? Now, asking this question is the bridge between reconnecting them to their capability and showing them that there's a gap between what they actually know and what's coming out. So it helps to reinforce that this is not a capacity problem. It's not an intellect problem. It's a communication problem. And then question number 3 is the action part. What do you think we can try differently together so next time it works a little bit easier? This gives them agency. It's not about blame. And the most important part is that you're doing it together with them. It's not top down. It's not them independent. It's a together process. And the script, the actual words that we use when we model this with our families that have been given positive feedback is as follows. It says, your brain did what brains do under pressure, and that's not a you problem. It doesn't mean anything about how clever you are. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through 3 of these questions and just be curious, be open to seeing if there's anything here that we can figure out and do differently together. That's it. You don't need to do anything more than that within those first 24 hours, but what we're doing is we're acknowledging their capacity. We're helping them to feel and take ownership of what sensations they're feeling so they can see that it's an emotional response, and we're giving them confidence that we will work on things together.